Okay, cool. Alright, so
Were you talking about me?
maybe we should pause and come back and record this.
No.
Right.
You can see us, we can see you, but we
Yeah.
black. We black. You said it. Don't give the eye to the camera. I'm trying to talk to you.
Yo.
Hello. What's up,
up?
y'all? How y'all doing out there?
Cool. What's up? So what are we doing?
What we're doing tonight is, this is the first segment of our podcast. So you guys are so privileged to be a part of the very first podcast with Henry and myself. If you guys don't know us already, which I think you do, I'm April. This is Henry.
Yeah.
And this is the first episode of our podcast. It is called, wait for it, Mr. Personality and
The Invisible Woman.
Catchy title, huh? Let that sink in. Mr. Personality and
The Invisible Woman.
I bet you want to know what that's about, right? So we're going to start by giving you a little introduction on how that title came to be. Henry?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just here. Look,
You just here?
I just showed up. I mean, she
No,
told me.
don't say it like that.
No. Okay. So we talked about, we've had conversations where when you have people who are married or in relationships and you have one of the individuals who's just this crazy, outgoing extrovert, and then they may be the other partner, not so much an introvert, but maybe a little bit more quieter or a little bit more laid back, right?
Or how about complimentary?
Okay, complimentary.
Give
I
me
mean,
that?
you can say, yeah, all right, whatever. All right, complimentary. Okay, cool. We'll use that. So we were talking about how that works when you're in relationship.
Or
What? Or what?
Oh, let me go back. When we talk, I probably put you on the spot. You're probably gonna like, man, you put me on the spot about how I got started. So let me
you
go.
always got to be in character though. Why you? Man, you.
Because I can't be like, man, you be like.
See, this
no.
is what I'm saying.
So no.
Okay, go ahead.
Listen.
Right.
So the title came to be. We were kind of vibing on our way home from church one Sunday. You remember the conversation?
Yeah, right.
We were kind of vibing about how in churches a lot of times too, there's like the husband or there's a partner. Let me not put the title on it before I get blasted, but there's a partner that can be the personality person, and then the other one can be considered somewhat invisible or, not seen as much because of the personality is so large. Right. So we were talking about how that could sever a tie of a relationship, especially within a church where if Mr. Personality, say, let's use Henry, for example. If he's Mr. Personality,
so short.
I don't know. We just had this conversation before the video started.
I mean,
so he says, what's your theory on why I seem taller sitting down and you seem shorter?
So check it out. Ladies, hear me out. Don't trip on me.
I'm sorry, guys. We're going off on this little tangent and then we're going to get back to it.
So check it out. My theory on this is when we're standing, I'm taller. But because I don't have as much flesh on my gluteus
you don't
maximus.
have to. Don't sugarcoat it. Say
Maybe
exactly what it is. Don't sugarcoat it.
Okay,
flesh on my gluteus maximus. Really, though.
So because when you sit down, you have more butt. So now in sitting, I'm shorter. But if I had more butt, you see how all of a sudden I just raised up a little bit?
So
that's what I'm trying to say.
What you trying to say is...
No, I mean, I said
I have an inflated gluteus maximus.
No,
that's why I'm inches higher than you now?
I didn't say that. I didn't
you kind of said it, but you try to...
Okay, let's get back to it.
Okay, let's get back to it. Yeah. So where I left off, I think, was in church, there could be... For example, in church, there could be like a big personality husband, so to speak, because I can't say I'm a husband, but it could be a big personality husband, and then the wife could be a little bit more subdued, and I won't even say quiet, but because of
party.
Huh?
At a party or hanging with
friends?
friends?
Yes, but I'm giving the
church.
origination of how we came up with it.
Okay,
that's
cool,
where I'm going.
cool.
I'm not trying to typecast it, but
I do apologize.
Right, it's okay. But anywho, nevertheless, we're going to get back to, I'm using church because that's how it kind of started. So we were talking in the car and we've noticed a lot of couples seem to be that way. And initially, Henry and I were like that too at the ministry when we first came. So let me stay on track. But there was a couple that we noticed that the husband had a really, really huge personality and the wife did not. Not that she didn't have personality, but because of her husband's large personality, she could be left unseen a lot of the time. Right. So in that case, she started to fade. Like she had no interest of coming to the church because he was always so busy speaking and everybody wanted to say hi to him. And she could seem, and I'm leaning back for a fact, she could seem a little bit more kind of like fading to the back until her fade leads her out the door. Right. So that was a topic of discussion in the car on the way home. And we were just like, boom, Mr. Personality and the Invisible Woman. How does that come to be? So we decided to open this up and dialogue with it and hear, my perspective and hear his perspective. So listen, though. It was catchy to say Mr. Personality before y'all try to come all at me, the men, like, oh, I gotta be the dude with a personality and all. No, it can be Mrs. Personality. Miss Personality and the Invisible Man. Yeah. But because of how it was birthed and what we saw and how it was, it's sort of our beginning too. That's why the Mr. came in. So don't try to come for me. That's just how it was birthed. So don't you do it.
Please don't be offended by that. Do not come for me. Because see, that could also be in this mispersonality. Like the mispersonality. I'm big. I'm all that. Don't come for me and all that.
No.
I mean, she's cool. She's cool, y'all. So
Don't
worry about her. She's cool.
Oh,
she's
it wasn't cool. Like that.
But
wow, you took a whole little spin around the beltway on it.
Okay, cool. Right, so
no, but that's your opinion. But you're right. I shouldn't. Yeah, but that's not the way I meant it.
Yeah, go ahead. Though.
But no. I'm glad you explained that though. Thank you for the disclaimer. You know. That's what I'm saying. Okay, so cool. The thing is, it's like you said, don't give the eye to the camera. I'm trying to talk to you. The thing is, it's not just for church, right? It can be in what?
It can be in just when you're around friends, or it could be like everywhere. Should I talk more about Mr. Personality, or is that?
Yes, that's later, but we were talking about it could not only occur in church, but in business, when you're in business socially. Say if you and your husband are corporate, you're in business together, or anything that you can be doing together. Family. The opposite family. How about the in-laws? Right.
So because even this could be with like the kids. The kids could be like, wow, Mr. Personality or Miss Personality parent is more exciting. When I want to do something exciting, I go with them. But I'm afraid to ask like invisible mom or invisible dad. Not so much invisible like absentee.
Right.
But it could be real laid back like, okay, hey, let's go outside and ride the bikes. Well, Mr. Personality or Miss Personality parent could be like, yeah, let's do it.
But you make a great point. But I need to let you go ahead and just explain because this is general. But I'm putting myself into the story, so I'm like, okay, pull back. He's not necessarily talking about you, or were you talking about me?
Maybe we should pause and come back and record this.
No. See, this is what the people want to see. Yeah. This is like real talk, unscripted.
Unscripted.
Look, sometimes when things be hitting a chord, you could be like, well, hold on, are you? I know, but I'm just explaining why I kind of did that. Are you low key talking about me like on camera? And then but you probably wasn't. But that was a little cord.
Yeah.
But yeah, it like you said, it could be business, it could be parenting, it could be church, it could be corporate, it could be like you said, family.
Yeah.
If you're going to the opposite, it's not your family, but if you want to say in law side of the family, where your husband is the what do you call him? The Kevin Hart of the family. So
or wife. Significant others, that person.
That too.
Yeah.
That can happen too.
Yeah.
But and guess what? Boom, we back. Our screen went black. We couldn't see if you could see us, we could see you, but we black. We black. but we back. I didn't mean to say we black. But we back. We are back.
Yeah.
Now we back.
Yeah.
So Henry, give a definition of what you think Mr. Personality is. Flow with that.
So, Mr. Personality, I mean, you could have the extremes. You could have Mr. Personality who is so outgoing, man. I mean, like, people love to see Mr. Personality. When Mr. Personality hits the room, it's like, yo, he's here, right? Man, it is like all about Mr. Personality. It's like, hey, you calling people, remembering names. You could talk about any subject, or you're that guy. You're just that guy. Like you're always caring about people. Somebody, when you say, "How are you doing today?" you really are like, "How are you doing?" And you want to hear, and it's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that," or "That's awesome," right? Or you could have Mr. Personality as to where nobody likes that dude, right? Nobody likes that dude or that chick.
Go back to the one where it's like when you come into the room, like give another visual. A crowd forms around you, and you like holding court, or a bunch of people.
Or check this out: Mr. Personality comes in the room with her, and guess what? When Mr. Personality hits the room, it's almost like you come in like this. But as soon as you hit the room, it's like, hey, everybody. Hey, how are you?
You see the lane? Check the lane.
Yeah, because now...
And then people start to push you kind of out of the way.
Yeah. That could happen. And Mr. Personality doesn't mean any harm.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
You just got to give the people what they want. I'm just saying, really?
No.
Yeah.
That's not what it is. But let me not say it's not what it is, because that's your interpretation. Right. But sometimes when the crowd forms,
right,
you could be on a stage and loving it, and you're not even thinking, "Hey, where's she go?" The crowd is starting to form. Everybody's like on the jog, like, "Hey, so what do you think? What did you just say on the what?" On your jog. I didn't want to say the other word, but I know that's like real 90s, 80s.
So
on the jog.
No. So how about you just say that they're really interested?
Okay, they're really interested. However, listen, everybody know what that means. I didn't say the other word. And we're not going to say that. But don't look perplexed like you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not. But anyway.
We apologize, y'all. We really, this is
They
really
like
not,
seeing this, though.
No, this is really not scripted, because we didn't want to like, be in here like,
we really want to be ourselves, though. And that makes it more interesting. We just want to
kind of talk about some things. And no, this is just like almost raw, but we're not, we're good. We're good.
This is how we do. But what I'm saying, like the crowd, and then you get more invigorated. The crowd, they like, "Oh man, you true, you so funny, man," all that, and then that can kind of pump you up, and not on purpose, but it's not until the crowd starts to fade, but you be like, "Where's so and so?" or "Where's my girl? Where's my wife?" or whatever. She could be sitting in the car for all you know, gone. So, any more definition about that Mr. Personality before we move on?
Not really. Until we can talk more as we go.
Sure.
About Mr. Personality.
Absolutely, we can.
That's a whole lot to talk about with Mr. Personality.
It's a lot to unfold. Not just Mr. Personality. Let me segue into the Invisible Woman.
Right.
When I say invisible, it's not always a complete invisible. Okay. Sometimes that you don't know where to insert yourself, and that can make you invisible, or you might not be as comfortable with the crowd or speaking out as Mr. Personality is. But let me say this about the invisible woman, though. She does like to be checked on, or like, hey, you okay?
You good?
You're good?
Yeah,
don't just let her fade. However, what I will say is, it's not Mr. Personality's fault all the time. Not all the time. I know we thought we were going there. It was going to be one side. It was going to be all Mr. Personality fault and Invisible Woman is good. But it's not all Mr. Personality's fault. I think after a period of time, if you're feeling some kind of way, you need to talk to Mr. Personality on the pillow talk and say, hey, look, this is how I'm feeling. And don't wait until it builds or it gets crazy. And then by the time you all talk, it's a big blow up and you about to jet. Right. Like, I ain't coming back, going nowhere with you no more because you just leave me, blah, 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 blah. Right. No, it's not all Mr. Personality's fault. It is the Invisible Woman's fault. I mean, not fault. It's the Invisible Woman's job to make herself visible with Mr. Personality's help. You can insert yourself into different conversations, meet new people, say, hey, hi, how about this party? Or, hey, the food was great, or whatever. Hey, you got that's a cute outfit, girl. Where you get your hair done? Some kind of segue conversation. Yeah. So it's not always Mr. Personality's fault, but I will say, if Mr. Personality never checks on you or be like, where'd you go? Huh? Where did I go? Hey, check on me from time to time.
Yeah.
Or how about this? When you're in the crowd, hey, are you guys, you know my wife, don't you? Or you know my girl. So introductions, or, kind of make her feel like you're, you want her there. Okay. Women like to feel like you want them around.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I know you do, but I'm just saying for this portion. But but for real though, let's go back. When we were at our former ministry, a lot of the time, because his personality was so big and mine, I have a big personality in my own right, but it just wasn't in that scene. A lot of people would say, a lot of them, not because they would say, oh my gosh, that's your wife? I didn't know you were married to him.
Or that's your husband?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, rarely they would say that's your husband. They would say to me, I didn't know you were Henry's wife. Wow. And I've heard this too. I wouldn't have put y'all two together.
Now that one. Now hold on. See, that's the one when I heard that for the first time.
Yeah.
I would not have put you two together. It's kind of like I didn't know how to take that, because it's like,
neither did I.
Okay, so do I look like she's my social worker because I'm looking bomb? Because she's always flawless.
No.
She's always glammed up. My girl is always tight.
Meant.
Sometimes I'm like, yo, man, I'm not feeling it today. But my personality is still on point, right? So when they said I wouldn't have put you all together, I'm like, let's think about that. And so, and so we talk about the whole thing when she was talking about the invisible woman, but also for you all that we're talking about the transparent. You know how when you look at a transparency, you can see through it because it's kind of faded. But for those who also understand like graphic design and different things like that, there's what's called an opacity or opacity, tomatoes, but opacity button. And you can go, your transparency could be at 80%. It can go all the way down. So the higher the number, the more of the color you'll see in the design. But the lower the number, the more transparent it becomes, right? So now we can even look at that and talk about the levels of transparency or invisibility. We can talk about levels.
Scientific. Okay.
Yeah, so we could always we'll get into that.
But whose job is it to turn up the transparency level? No, whose job is that though? For real?
That depends. Because sometimes with Mr. Personality, I need you to be on 10.
But guess what? Listen,
it's about me though.
Maybe this, like, picture this. You're going to an office party with your mate. I'm just going to use you because you're right here. But you're going out. I've been to some of his medical group dinners or go away parties. Like whatever.
Just say medical.
Medical when he was in the military.
Events.
Job, right. Whatever. Now, I don't know a lot about the people, but they know me. So sometimes maybe a little pep talk in the car would have been good. Not saying that you shouldn't have, but that would be good for the Mr. Personality and the Invisible Woman portion.
Oh, wow.
So like I was saying, when you're talking about, like, for instance, when we went to, like, your boss's going away dinner, right? It was nice, okay? But I may have known, like, one other person besides my husband there. So if I wasn't really, like, Henry, glad you made it. Oh, this is my wife. Hi. Oh, we heard so much about you. That's about as far as our conversation is going. So, did you eat? Yeah, I got some food. It was really, really good. Yeah, Henry, did you hear about the blah, blah, blah? So, if I wasn't kind of like lock arm, hey, where you go, I go, like, hey, could be really sitting on a little chair, resting my feet, because I had my heels on, but like those type of things, maybe if there's like a pep talk in the car, not saying for you, but just in general, like, hey, we're about to go to this thing and, this is for my office. So I might mingle around a little bit. You're more than,
right.
great to come along or, tag along or whatever. But if you want to chill because you don't know the medical lingo or whatever they talking, the jokes about. Or the event.
Yeah,
like,
not
I'm just using you as an example.
Okay, I got it.
I'm just using you as an example.
Okay, cool.
But I'm just saying, like, if you get a prep talk in the car, like, hey, I'm going to make my rounds, talk, give me the eye. That means, excuse me. Let me go check on my wife. Have a little, cold dialogue, not like, can you come in? I'm ready to go. Like, none of that. But, in the age of technology, send a text or, we have the thing of like the I, or if Mr. Personality may be going on a little bit too much, I'll be like, or wrap it up.
Right.
So, you have the little codes. And I don't be like, cut it. I just give him a little like,
yeah.
Like that. So maybe if
that's
that was like this
hardcore though. No. The straight up neck cut off.
No, it's not. It's not like this. It's like this. Now, when I gave it to you in church last week, how was it?
It was still.
It was what?
Yeah, it was cool. I got it.
I gave you too much.
No, it's never. It's okay.
Never too much, never too much.
Okay, stay focused.
Okay, stay focused, right.
Yeah.
I give people a little variety. So I'm just saying, maybe that would cut down on the, kind of like the little cold shoulder ride home, or, hey, I don't want to go with you no more. Like, you don't pay me any attention at all. I'm totally invisible when you're there. You don't even care about eating. Am I ready? Nothing. Now, it could go both ways. Okay? Like you said, with families, and if you're married or dating and you go to the other side of the family, it's a little awkward sometimes. Would you agree? No, you probably wouldn't agree because you kind of inserted yourself into my family from 21 Jump Street. What are you looking at?
I'm just looking at your earrings.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
They're really nice.
Thank you.
Pretty. Real pretty.
Thank you. Real pretty.
Real pretty.
But I'm just saying, like, you didn't feel some kind of way when you went to see my family, did you, for the first time?
No, because we'll get more into Mr. Personality. This is kind of like an overview. Yeah, because you really have to. We're gonna dive into.
To the details.
Yeah, Mr. Personality and the Invisible Woman, because it goes so much deeper than.
Yeah.
You just have a big personality. There's a lot of other stuff that goes along with that.
So you're saying there's an unpacking we need to do?
Absolutely. I mean, this is just a kind of an overview of, what we're introducing and what the subjects and what we'll talk about. We're going to go from A to Z, 1 to a million, whatever you want to say, because there are a lot of couples that deal with this. But also, sometimes when people get to the point where they say we can't get along, we just don't communicate, or we go our own separate ways. Sometimes it's because they're not having these conversations.
Yes,
they're not having the conversations about, how did you make me feel? Like, when you go somewhere, it's like people know you, and I feel, I feel, and then you get the other person saying, why do you feel? And then the conversation is not like, well, let me do an introspection. Because this is how this person
on
has
both sides,
been,
right?
Yeah, on both sides. So, but yeah, we just wanted to introduce, what is to come. I can tell you that it's going to be exciting. We're going to have some guests from time to time.
Yes.
And we're not just throwing a bunch of stuff out there like, oh, yeah, we don't want to talk to you. Because we have some friends who are professionals, that are counselors, that are psychiatrists, So now we start talking about what's really going on. And I promise you, it's not going to be some old spooky stuff, man. You like these people.
Oh, no.
Like, what's wrong
Well, you
with
know
them?
what? You're right. And I was trying to give y'all all of that at one time. So let me pull the ghetto back a little bit, get back in. So no, I was trying to give you all of that at one time, when I need to have you all come back and join us to see what's going to happen next. Because this thing, like you said, it's unpacking, unfolding, their tips, their guests, like you said. I'm just kind of regurgitating what you said.
Right.
Tips, all of that. So it's so much that we could say about this. But what I'm hoping is, what I know will happen with all of this unpacking, and if you keep following each episode that we do, there's going to be some real conversations being had. There are going to be some real healing that takes place, some real misunderstandings being understood.
Absolutely.
So this is really, we're here having fun, but we're really here to help those who may be experiencing this or have experienced this at one time. Yeah. We've known each other for 20 years?
Yeah, man.
Married for 17, almost 18 years. So we have we don't have as much gray hair or wisdom as those that have been married 50. Oh, speak.
I do.
You do.
I
don't have any gray hair.
Well, it was all black when I met her. So we'll talk about that.
This is my fault?
No, that's not your fault.
And no, of course it's not.
You see that?
Of course it's not.
You're going to, is it your fault?
No.
What did you hear?
That was, okay, here we go. No, that was really a joke, though.
I get it.
I know, but that's your favorite line, though. When that is your favorite line when somebody comes at you with something, you say, "I know what I said, but what did you hear?"
Yeah, man.
That's your favorite line.
But it's okay. So, but because we're going to talk about all of these different things, and in this thing with Mr. Personality, and it's you'll see some for the fellas, maybe you'll see yourself in a lot of these situations, or a few. And at the same time, ladies, the same thing with the invisible woman or the transparent woman, or you'll see yourself in the levels of invisibility. I think that is a word. That is a word. So, but you'll see yourself in these moments that we talk about, because the minute you start thinking that nobody else has your issue or nobody else has your challenge,
right?
And you kind of get into your world that we can't make it work, or nobody understands me. Prayerfully, you will understand and hear some things in these segments that will be a blessing to you. And we don't plan to keep these long. We plan to get in there, talk about it, hit it up. You'll be able to go in there and make comments and send us stuff, because what you'll find out on these is that we're going to be transparent. Now, we'll keep things real, but at the same time, we want to make sure that people are understanding. We don't want to go too far left, too far right, and then people are like, "Hey, I'm just in the middle. What about us in the middle? What about us over here?" So we'll try our best to make sure that all are blessed in these segments.
Oh, thank you, Pastor.
Yes. Yes.
So forgive me, guys. I'm really kind of the silly one at times. Let me say that.
Yeah.
At times I am.
At times.
But yes, I echo everything that he said. I think transparency is key, especially when you kind of have hot button topics, just for that reason of letting you know that you're not in it alone. You're not the only one that is experiencing those things, because a lot of times when we go through things, we can be like, man, why is this happening to me and only me? And it's typically not just you.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. And a lot of people sometimes don't even say that they're going through it, because they don't want to seem like, oh man, I don't want to seem like the eyeball or something's wrong with me. But it's like, no, there's safety in numbers. So when you have an opportunity to learn, talk and share, learn from those who have made the mistakes, and they have given the blueprint, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel, this is the opportunity for you to take advantage of that. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely. And like she was saying about this, in the numbers, people will be able to say, hey, look, I recognize that. We look forward to your comments, because one of the things that we're not here, and we're not offended very easily, right? Well, let's say this. We're not offended easily by stuff, because one of the things that we understand about what we have been giving a task to do in this is to share our experiences,
right? People
that we know and leave nameless, but they are giving us they've told us about their stuff, and now we're able to help others. You know what I mean? And everybody's trying to help somebody. I mean, it's the pandemic and everybody wants to share. Everybody has, a YouTube. But here's the thing. We're just going to keep it real about what we've experienced and gone through. And if it can help you, you take a little bit from us here on somebody else's channel and go from there. Absolutely. And next thing you know, you put it in the pot. And
guess what? You got the bomb, what? I don't want to say souffle, but...
Soup. Or something.
Soup.
Yeah. No. I mean, pot roast.
Sauce or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Soup,
right.
though? What do y'all think? Soup? Only old people eat soup. Kool-Aid.
Ladies and gentlemen, for you all that are my age or older, she apologizes. We don't.
That was a joke. You got the way I laughed. That was really a joke. But you gotta keep it. You gotta keep it funny up in here. Okay, so I guess what? This is part 1. So I cannot wait to do part 2 with you. Oh, that's sweet. So guess what, guys? Hang on to your hats, to your seats, to your coat, whatever people say. Hang on to your seat, whatever. Because we are coming back for part 2. We have enjoyed this segment so far. And you know what?
So what's the part 2? Is it now? Is this part 1 or is this part 2? Because if you say part 2, then after part 2, what are we gonna do? Tell them that it's part 3, and how many parts are we gonna have?
Well, guess what? When you come back with part 2, you don't know how many parts left. I'm like, wait a minute. Part 2, the second half, which will say, whose fault is it? You don't like it?
That's cool.
Oh, how you gonna try to play me on the game? All right, whatever. So guess what? Until you come up with something better, part 2 is your fault.
That's fine. I mean, yeah,
it's your fault.
It may be my fault, but the thing is,
don't give it away. That's the title.
Okay.
Just so you about to go in. Don't go into it. It's your fault.
Yeah.
But guess what?
Okay.
You got to come back to hear whose fault it really is. All right? So we've enjoyed having you join us. And we're going to work out all these kinks for next time.
Yeah, man.
We'll know better. But until next time, how you going to end it? Until next time, what?
I mean, everybody says until next time, we'll see you.
Oh my gosh, why are you trying to blame me?
Have a great evening.
Oh my word.
Be happy.
No.
All right. Hey, y'all.
We'll
see y'all next time, right?